So anybody under the age of 30 here is not going to have a fucking clue what he's talking about. But for all the old farts in the audience, here's Richard.
As an architect and teacher who enjoys drawing, I am constantly confronting the importance of this skill given the prevalence of digital technology. As a teacher, I continually need to justify its relevance to students more eager to learn CAD. When I'm on interviews for jobs, I'm often asked, how many years have you been using CAD? To those of you who are not designers and not aware of CAD, above are their basic differences with the drawn line. Hand-drawn lines, the ones that are show trepidation, boldness, restraint, confidence, and sweat. It tells something about the person who drew it. It is a signature, and each mark has meaning. The plotted line is crisp, unwavering, cold, unemotional, and inhumanly inaccurate. Old-school drawings, spontaneity, can be done anywhere or anything. Cocktail napkins, scrap of paper, drywall of a building site. The sketch is about capturing ideas as much as it is about exchanging them. With technology, it can be sent and received from anywhere. Some of these sketches here came to me from Africa and Northwest. Technological progress, which means the exchange of images, created proliferation of them at our disposal. As a result, images do not take as long to capture and not savored as long. The 4x5 only could take one image at a time, whereas the digital camera here can take over 300 images at a time. The rise of fast food culture with images caused it to no longer be savored, just devoured and consumed. Pictures like the ones that you see come to me instantly, and they are discarded as easily as they are opened. They can be printed or deleted without any trace of it ever existing. With this in mind, I actually propose a return to the classic way of capturing an image through a sketch or drawing, cataloging one's thoughts in ways that cannot easily be discarded. Pencil as an artistic instrument is more empathetic than its musical counterparts, which require many more hours to learn in order to communicate an idea. The great benefits of Sketchbook is the portability. You can head off to see the Great Pyramid of Rome and capture it the way Giovanni Piranesi did over 200 years ago. With travel sketches, you can see and capture building sites in the same way that they did, and even with the same tools that they used. To the right, the two sketches on the right were done from a friend of mine who recently went to Japan. When he first came back, I expected to see a large packet of photos from Walgreens. Instead, he just handed me a book with 30-some-odd sketches like this and nothing more. So I asked him, did you buy any postcards? And he said, no, I didn't need to. I remembered all of this quite well in my sketchbook. But one of the great things about drawing is how much you can learn by trying to redraw someone else's work. You can sweat the lines that great artists did in the past, and you can have Vermeer, Giacometti, or Manet become your teachers. And you can learn what they already know and listen to what they want to tell you. So all these are actually copies of friends of mine of other works. So computer renderings have changed the field of architectural drawings, but I have often found it limiting that in order to have a perspective view of the interior, you first had to create the entire plan or building. When we discover new spaces, we perceive it in a phenomenological way, so I thought, why not try to design them that way? This project here was developed by perspective only. So here, after about 100 sketches or so, you come up with a building. So through perspective and watercolors, I come up with details, figure out materials and associations and all that, and then develop the plan in the building from that. I also carry this thought into the way student projects. This assignment for my students at Columbia College was designed to help them visualize a space from words. The drawings used The House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe as a catalyst for inspiration. The narrative was used to help students give form to imagery in the book, much like the way a program shapes an architect's building design. The drawings tell a story and hang together. Most were made with ink, watercolor, and charcoal. It was important that the ability to erase was not an option. I wanted them to understand that every mark had gravity and weight, and that the risk of mistakes were needed. These are images of Dante's Inferno by Michael Mazur. All are monotypes. Ink is put onto an unetched metal plate and then run through the press. You only get one print. Image is made in reverse. The results can only be roughly anticipated and never precisely calculated. There's no delete, no repasting. It is organic. Hell has essentially come to life. Watercolors and markers actually share the same type of technique. You must work with the marks you made and live with the results. Here actually is a third grade student's drawing of a house, in which I noticed was a lot of students tend to draw hexagonal houses. Then I realized just after doing this that it's due to its perspective and not understanding it. So, drafting is dead. The blueprint machine has been sent to the pasture. After I began at Fitzgerald Associates a few weeks ago, I realized that this is definitely true. Mice and screens replace triangles and drafting boards. But I realized that drawing has evolved. Here on printed, crisp, clean, computer-generated drawings are hand sketches. So these have actually become the way drawings have still been able to persist inside an architecture studio. Taking notes during client meetings, making changes and revisions. These are kind of the new ways that we work with, still maintaining drawing skills. So this here is potentially what's going to happen in the future. And this here is the old sketchbook from BCE to 2007 and perhaps beyond. So I lost the notes for this one, so we'll wait till the next slide. Sights of students sketching in the street with their easels or pencils on their feet should not be a dying sight. Drawing with one hand is still relevant. I recently heard a story about George Nelson, Noguchi, and Buckminster Fuller in a studio with paper and drinks. They spent the night sketching, drinking, and in the morning, when they woke, Nelson noticed the design for his famous ball clock, which is here on the right. In the morning, no one remembered ever drawing it. So the whole point is, whether you're an architect, lawyer, graphic designer, furniture designer, the important is to be able to still draw, capture ideas, and exchange them. So, thank you very much.